Chapter 1. The wedding day was drawing closer when David suddenly suggested postponing it. My brother is in serious trouble overseas. I have to go help him, he said. Sarah, please understand. At that exact moment, strange bullet comments appeared before my eyes. The male lead is disgusting, lying without shame. Trouble abroad? What a joke. He just wants one last wild trip with his first love. Girl, wake up. His 32-inch suitcase is packed with adult toys. Why not choose the brother instead? He's loved the female lead secretly for 7 years, and now she's about to marry his younger brother. His heart has broken countless times. I stayed quiet for a brief moment, then decisively called his brother's number. Your brother is trying to escape the wedding. Maybe you could step in and save the situation. David pulled my thoughts back. Impatience flashed across his face, but he quickly softened his tone. Sarah, listen to me. You know my brother practically raised me. If something happens to him, how can I pretend everything is fine and get married? Just 1 month. Give me 1 month. I promise I'll come back and marry you. I'll even give you a wedding grander than before, okay? As he spoke, his eyes kept drifting to his phone, unable to hide his anxiety. The bullet comments reacted instantly. You trash man, can't control yourself, and now you're using the male supporting role as a cover. Luis is truly tragic. 7 years of one-sided love wasn't enough. Now he's being dragged in as an excuse. If the truth comes out, what if Sarah ends up hating him too? I tried imagining myself as Luis and couldn't breathe. David opened WeChat. Whatever he saw made the corner of his lips lift briefly before he forced his expression neutral again. He stood up. Sarah, I just received news. My brother's condition is worse than expected. I have to leave immediately. 1 month later, I'll come back and marry you. I stared at him for a long time, then nodded gently. Go. He left in a hurry, too rushed to notice my reaction. He even forgot his work laptop, something he never traveled without. It required a password to unlock. The next second, the bullet comments seemed to read my mind. The password is 110,606, because David reunited with Vanessa on November 6th last year, and they did it 6 times that night. November 6th. My hand began to tremble. That date was our engagement day. That night, David had come home very late. His clothes were messy and his face was scratched. He had said he'd run into a rebellious kid on the road and personally escorted them to the police station. Now I knew the truth. That rebellious kid was 25 years old, and she happened to be his first love. Vanessa. Chapter 2. I unlocked the laptop. David's WeChat was still logged in. At the very top was a pinned contact with a cat profile picture. The remark name read, Seductive Cat. I opened the chat. Several photos popped up, cat ears, black stockings, and barely a strip of lace covering her body. Just enough to tease and entice. Seductive Cat, limited time offer. No waiting. David, bullet loaded. Tonight, don't even think about leaving the bed. My heartbeat spiraled out of control. The next second, WeChat logged out. David's call came through. Sarah, I left my laptop at your place. Did you see anything? Such an obvious test. Suppressing the nausea rising in my chest, I replied calmly, Really? I didn't notice anything. Do you want me to mail it to you? No need. I was just asking. It's all work files, nothing interesting. Sarah, I really don't want to be apart from you. I just left and I already miss you so much. I wish I could marry you right now, but I can't. His voice was as gentle and affectionate as ever. But all I felt was disgust. Pure, physical revulsion. I hung up without another word and tossed my phone aside. After thinking briefly, I sent my mother a message. Mom, I don't want to marry David anymore. Is that okay? Exhausted, I collapsed onto the sofa. This marriage was no longer possible. I had always been obsessed with cleanliness, especially when it came to love. But the wedding date was already set. Canceling it suddenly would be nearly impossible. My mother called immediately. Sarah, marriage isn't just about you. The announcement has already been made. I don't care what reason you have, the wedding will proceed as planned in half a month. You don't want to marry David? Fine. As long as you find someone better than him. I listened quietly, then said only one thing. But David cheated. She fell silent for a few seconds, as if she hadn't heard. Sarah, for families like ours, dignity is what matters most. Dignity. Exactly the answer I expected. Bullet comments flooded my vision. The female lead is so pitiful, her entire life is bound by family pride. She can't even decide her own marriage. Girl, look at Luis. He loves you so much he's losing his mind. That's right. The Sun family's heir is Luis. Sunday. Marrying him would be far more dignified than marrying a spoiled playboy like David. I lowered my eyes. It seemed there was no other road left. Chapter 3. I called Luis. He answered instantly. Sarah. His voice was hoarse, heavy with exhaustion. The bullet comments erupted. Is this real? The female lead actually called the male supporting role. He's on a business trip in the US. It's 3 a.m. there and he still answered immediately. No explanation needed. Every time Luis says her name, there's real emotion in his voice. He can't stay distant when it comes to her. My face burned hot. These comments were getting out of control. Sarah. Luis spoke again. Why did you suddenly call? Is something wrong? My racing heart slowly settled. I closed my eyes. Something is wrong. I'm abroad right now. I can't return immediately. If you don't mind, my secretary could. No, I cut him off. This is something only you can help me with. Without waiting, I continued, your brother is running away from the wedding. Maybe you could come back and save it. The bullet comments exploded. Oh my God, did she just ask the male supporting role to marry her? On the other end, Luis's breathing suddenly quickened. Save it, what do you mean? I paused, then said softly, come back and marry me. Silence followed. Only his uneven breathing proved he was still there. Just before I could hang up, he finally spoke. Wait for me. Chapter 4. The bullet comments descended into complete chaos. He's crying, he's really crying. Is this even real? Before leaving the country, Luis went to a temple and made 3 wishes. One for Sarah's health, one for David to give up, and one for himself to rise higher. I sent this the ultimate wish fulfilled. Reading those words left me dazed. In truth, the first man I met wasn't David. It was Luis. During my sophomore year, Luis returned to campus as a celebrated alumnus to give a lecture. I was the host. After that, we kept running into each other, slowly becoming familiar. When I later started dating David. Chapter 5. Only then did I realize that Luis was the older brother David often talked about. Until, on the night before graduation, Luis arrived on campus carrying a bouquet of custom-made flowers along with several carefully prepared gifts. By coincidence, he ran into David and me together. David looked completely stunned. Brother? Why are you here? You know about my relationship, right? Luis's eyes shifted calmly between David and me. He smiled faintly. Yes. I came to give your girlfriend a meeting gift. A meeting gift. I repeated those words again and again in my mind. An uneasy suspicion quietly took root in my heart. Could it be that, on that day, Luis had actually intended to confess to me? Chapter 6. The following morning, I slept until 10. After waking up, I went downstairs to take out the trash. That was when I saw someone completely unexpected. A Rolls-Royce was parked downstairs. Luis leaned casually against the car door, smiling in my direction. I froze mid-step. Wasn't he supposed to be overseas? When had he returned? I know everything now, he said gently. Something this serious can't be explained properly over the phone. Sarah. Luis paused, hesitation flickering across his expression. As for Vanessa, I can handle her. If you still can't let go of David. No need, I interrupted without hesitation. I don't want used goods. Luis was stunned for a second, then visibly relaxed. Wait here for a moment. He quickly walked to the car and retrieved a thick stack of documents from the passenger seat, handing them to me with both hands. Sarah, this is a complete summary of my assets. Before our marriage, I'll transfer 70% of my shares and all my movable and immovable property to your name. Everything will be considered your premarital assets. This is my medical report. I'm in perfect health. I have no bad habits, and I've never engaged in any inappropriate relationships, male or female. I'm completely clean. Bullet comments erupted. Oh, completely clean. Don't worry, baby, clean, durable, well-equipped, and highly capable. My face instantly burned. I took a deep breath and forcefully pushed those inappropriate images out of my mind. Looking at Luis, I said, "The wedding date is already set, half a month from now. We'll keep it. Do you mind?" He shook his head. After a brief pause, he added softly, "I don't mind anything, Sarah. For you to marry me, it's my honor." I was just about to talk to him about the details when a sharp ringtone cut me off. David was calling. Chapter 7. Sarah, I really miss you. I'm already at the hospital. My brother's condition isn't good. I might not be able to return for a while. I put the phone on speaker. When Luis heard the words, "my brother's condition," his brows knit slightly, but he stayed silent. Perhaps afraid I wouldn't believe him, David sent a photo. "I'm at the hospital right now." It was indeed a hospital photo. Only, there wasn't a single person in the frame. Bullet comments exploded instantly. What a shameless scumbag. Luis is literally standing in front of her. The one hospitalized is obviously Vanessa. He played too hard last night and sent her straight to the hospital. Rotten cucumber eating from one bowl while eyeing another. Luis's expression darkened. He gestured for the phone. I shook my head lightly. David's temper was impulsive. More importantly, our marriage was also a strategic alliance. It would secure Luis's standing within the Sun family. If David realized I knew the truth, he would cling endlessly. I couldn't afford that embarrassment. Luis didn't insist. Bullet comments flew. He's heartbroken but pretending to be calmed. Looks steady on the outside. Inside he's already cried an entire ocean. I glanced at Luis. He really did look a little downcast. Since he was the man I would spend the rest of my life with, I couldn't bear it. Not telling him was only to ensure the wedding proceeded smoothly. From the moment David cheated, everything between us was already over. "Don't overthink it," I said softly. Luis lowered his gaze. His long lashes cast shadows in the backlight. The next second he gently took my hand. My ring finger felt cold. I looked down. A diamond the size of a pigeon egg nearly blinded me. "For everything in the wedding," he said quietly. "Let's replace it all. Whatever you want, I can give you. I don't want anything he's touched either." My heart softened. I smiled. "Okay." Chapter 8. David continued harassing me every day. Only, his lies were exposed by the bullet comments within seconds. He texted me at dawn saying he missed me. Actually, he's just been fooling around with the female supporting role all night. Thinking of Sarah only makes him feel guilty. He sent photos of jewelry, claiming he wanted to bring them back for me. Those are leftovers Vanessa didn't want. He really has the nerve. Look at what Luis gave instead. Replanning the wedding from top to bottom was exhausting. Although Luis handled most of it, I still ran around nonstop. The bullet comments became my only source of entertainment during those busy days. Sometimes, they even live-streamed David's behavior. For example, right now. Inside a dim private room, men and women clinked glasses recklessly. Someone laughed while toasting David. "Only 5 days left until your wedding with Sarah. You're not going back." Smoke filled the air. David lazily played with Vanessa's fingers, laughing. "I'm not going back." Someone gave him a thumbs up. Bold. "Good thing Sarah loves you. Otherwise delaying the wedding would have blown up." David laughed again. With my brother as an excuse, she couldn't say a word. Besides, I'm still marrying her. I just want one last indulgence. In this lifetime, I'll only marry one person, Sarah. Vanessa's face darkened. She yanked her hand away. "What about me?" David's expression turned cold. "Don't say stupid things. Our relationship can't go public. The only person who can be my wife is Sarah. Drop your fantasies." The bullet comments were already cursing him to hell. I rolled my eyes and went straight to sleep. I discovered a bug. As long as I closed my eyes, the bullet comments disappeared. So I didn't see what happened next. Vanessa, tears shimmering, stood up and left the room. David didn't even glance at her. "Continue," he said casually. Someone hesitated. "You used your brother as a shield?" David chuckled. "I told her my brother had an accident abroad. She didn't object at all." The person paused. "But your brother is in the country. He's preparing for a wedding. Same date as your original one." David stiffened. Chapter 9. A gentle woman, polite and composed in public. For the sake of family reputation, no matter what happened, she would never dare stir up trouble over a divorce. David was certain of that. As for my brother, he paused, carefully selecting what sounded like the most logical explanation. All these years he's kept his distance from women. I've never heard him mention anyone. I probably just forgot to tell him the wedding was postponed. He must be busy preparing everything for me. After a brief silence, he concluded confidently. In any case, it's impossible that he's the one getting married. Chapter 10. The next morning, I was jolted awake by David's relentless phone calls. Annoyance surged through me, but I swallowed it down. His voice was unusually cheerful. "Baby, I've got great news. My brother's completely fine now. I'm overseas customizing a diamond ring just for you. As soon as it's done, I'll come back and we'll hold the wedding as planned, okay?" I frowned instinctively. "What did you say?" "I said the wedding won't be delayed. Once I—" He didn't finish before letting out a muffled groan. Bullet comments exploded. "Disgusting scumbag. The female supporting role is literally under him right now. Rotten, shameless trash. Can't he just disappear and stop contaminating Sarah's wedding?" Nausea rose in my throat. "Sarah," David panted softly, calling my name. "I love you. I really love you." I was about to hang up when the door suddenly opened. "Sarah, about Mom and Dad." At the same time, a heavy thud echoed from the phone, followed by a woman's flirtatious moan. David's voice instantly turned cold. "Sarah, is there another man in your house?" Chapter 11. That was the moment I truly lost patience. My emotions surged violently. I was tired of pretending. For a split second, I even considered tearing everything apart and laying the truth bare. After all, Luis was his brother. With Luis present, David wouldn't dare cause real trouble. Worst case scenario? We could just tie him up on the wedding day. Still dignified. With that thought, I acted. "Yes," I said calmly. "It's your brother. In 4 days we're getting married." "David, you don't need to come back." There was a brief silence. Then David suddenly burst into laughter. "Wife, are you mad? Be good. I was just teasing you. I never intended to delay the wedding. In this life, I'll only marry one person, and that's you. I'll be there on time on the wedding day. Be obedient." I laughed out of sheer anger. "David, do you not understand human language? I said you don't need to return. My groom is your brother, not you." His tone hardened. "Sarah, stop being unreasonable. Don't use my brother as an excuse. If you could have liked him, where would that leave me back then? Forget it. I'll come back and marry you." I clenched my teeth. This self-righteous idiot. Luis gently patted my shoulder, signaling me to turn on speaker. "David," he said evenly, "Sarah isn't joking. We really are getting married." David sighed, sounding helpless. "Brother, even you're playing along with her? Forget it. If she wants to throw a tantrum, let her. Just calm her down for me these days. I've got things to handle." He hung up. Chapter 12. Luis and I stared at each other. Speechless disbelief mirrored in both our eyes. I couldn't help laughing. He doesn't believe us. What do we do? Luis's expression remained steady. "Don't worry. I'll take care of it. First, eat breakfast. It's from your favorite meat bun shop." I nodded. That was all I could do. After washing my hands, I opened the food box. Just then my phone chimed again. A WeChat message from David. A video. On screen, David's eyes were half-lidded, his face flushed with desire. Heavy breathing intertwined with a woman's moans. "Baby, you're amazing," David gasped. "Not like Sarah, stiff and boring. Before marriage, she wouldn't even let me touch her." Vanessa laughed playfully. "So who's better, me or her?" "Of course you," he replied. "After I get married, come work as a housekeeper at my place. Every day in the master bedroom, you'll drain me dry and leave nothing for her." "How possessive," she teased. "You want her to live like a widow?" David chuckled softly. "That won't do. If word gets out, people will think I can't perform. Don't worry, I have no interest in her. Just fulfilling marital duty. The rest is all yours." I calmly glanced at the time. Only 3 minutes had passed since we hung up. I opened a shopping app. Typed, Viagra. Copied the link. Sent it. David replied instantly with a question mark. "What do you mean?" Chapter 13. Bullet comments went wild. "Haha, Viagra, deadly. Sarah is doing the most brutal insult with the calmest face." David thought he was impressive until that link shattered his soul. Only 3 minutes and he dares brag? Does he even know what level his brother is on? I ignored him and focused on finishing breakfast. Luis really knew my tastes. I admitted, at first, I'd only chosen him as a second-best option. But after half a month together, I realized marrying Luis didn't seem bad at all. At the very least, he didn't need medication. Chapter 14. Bullet comments later revealed. David had returned to the country early. Apparently, my message completely confused him. After interrogating Vanessa, he finally learned the truth. He flew into a rage, dumped her, and came back alone. Yet his confidence remained intact. After returning, he didn't look for me, nor did he seek out Luis. Instead, he went to meet his friends. Chapter 15. David noticed something was off. Friends who once laughed endlessly around him now sat in uneasy silence. He sneered. "What's with the long faces? No matter what happens, we're still brothers. No one can control me." Someone sighed in relief. "David, it's best if you really think that way." Others chimed in. "Yeah, since you and Vanessa were first loves and fit so well, why not marry her instead? Your brother raised you. Don't ruin your relationship over a woman." David frowned. "What nonsense. Vanessa is just for the bedroom. Marriage? No. I still want Sarah." He waved his hand impatiently. "Enough. I'll prepare for the wedding tomorrow. Tonight, let's enjoy ourselves." Silence fell again. Uneasy glances exchanged. Finally, one bold voice spoke carefully. "David, you really don't know? We guessed wrong earlier. The wedding your brother is preparing is his own. He's really marrying Sarah." Chapter 16. What do you mean by this? When David stormed in, I was calmly discussing makeup details with the stylist. "What do you think it means?" His face was twisted with anger. "I just went out to relax a bit. I'm about to step into the grave of marriage. Can I let off some steam? You didn't have to retaliate like this. I know you're still mad. Vanessa and I just ran into each other abroad. It happened once. It won't happen again." He didn't bother lowering his voice. The staff pretended not to listen, failing miserably. I sighed. "How embarrassing." 110606, I said. "Do you want me to explain what that means?" David froze. Color drained from his face. "Sarah, you already knew." Chapter 17. "This isn't all my fault," he argued. "If you weren't so old-fashioned, refusing to even let me touch you, would I have looked elsewhere? We're adults. I only slipped once. But you're turning around and marrying my brother. Is that fair? I know you're angry. But you and my brother don't love each other. Would you really be happy together? I'm already back." David hesitated, his voice catching. "In a way, this was my fault." The bullet comments exploded instantly. What kind of garbage excuse is that? All he knows how to do is shift the blame. I seriously want to go in there and slap him. How does he even dare say this? David raised his head. But you can't marry my brother. Sarah, don't you know he? What about me? Before David could finish, Luis appeared. Chapter 17. So? What about me? Luis slipped an arm around my waist, the gesture firm and possessive. David's eyes locked onto us, fury flashing brighter. Luis, is this what you meant by taking care of your younger brother's fiancée? David sneered. Taking her straight to your bed? Luis remained calm, his expression icy. David, stop embarrassing yourself. You're the one who cheated. You're the one who delayed the wedding. Somehow everyone else is wrong, but you. David stiffened, jaw clenched. It's not like I didn't plan to marry her. If you hadn't interfered with Sarah's family, those people obsessed with appearances, how would they ever have allowed us to cancel the engagement? Luis struck him hard across the face. So you knew, Luis said quietly, his tone turning colder. You knew her family valued reputation, yet for the sake of your impulses, you left her alone, postponed the wedding and humiliated her. Did you ever stop to think about what you put her through? David opened his mouth, but no words came. He stopped arguing with Luis and turned toward me instead, his eyes reddening. Sarah, I know I was wrong. I swear I'll never contact Vanessa again. There will never be another woman. For the sake of everything we've shared, forgive me just this once. We're getting married in a few days anyway. I took Luis's hand and walked away. After a few steps, I turned back. David, from now on, when you see me, call me your sister-in-law. I smiled faintly. Don't worry. Since you're Luis's brother, I won't hold grudges over something so trivial. His fists tightened as he stared at our intertwined hands. Suddenly he laughed. Sister-in-law? What a joke. Then his gaze sharpened. Do you know why I met Vanessa in the first place, Sarah? Chapter 18. Luis stopped mid-step. The comments flooded in again. What is happening right now? I don't remember this storyline at all. Damn it, don't ruin this right before the wedding. David stared at Luis. After scheming for so long, you finally got what you wanted. Proud. He walked straight toward us. Sarah, you hate being lied to most of all, don't you? Then what about now? Do you even realize? He's always had filthy thoughts about you. To split us apart, he planned everything. Vanessa and I hadn't seen each other in 6 years. Without him, how would she suddenly come back? How would I ever have met her? How could I have betrayed you? David's voice rose hysterically. He orchestrated it all. Open your eyes, Sarah. The man beside you is far worse than me. Luis didn't respond. The only sign was the slight tremble in the hand holding mine. He tried to pull away. I tightened my grip instead. He froze, looking at me, fear and unease written all over his face. Sarah, his voice was rough. After a long pause, he whispered, I'm sorry. David laughed bitterly. You heard that? He admitted it. Everything was his plan. Are you really sure you want to marry someone like this? Chapter 19. I ignored David completely. My eyes stayed on Luis. He looked away, tension thick in the air. The bullet comments went wild. Why isn't she saying anything? Please don't let this couple fall apart. Honestly, for someone like Luis to do this, it must have taken immense resolve. I wasn't angry. Seeing him so shaken only made my chest ache. Luis, I said softly, come on. We still have a wedding to prepare for. He froze. David's face twisted. Sarah, are you insane? A man like this, today he betrays his brother, tomorrow he'll betray you. And what about you? I snapped. Can you swear you pursued me without ulterior motives? David, you've always envied your brother. The moment you realized he liked me, you chased me deliberately, didn't you? Chapter 20. On the way back, Luis remained silent. It wasn't until we reached downstairs that he finally spoke. Sarah, if you don't want to get married, I'll handle your parents. I laughed helplessly. Luis, when did I ever say I didn't want to marry you? I sighed. Everything David said was true. Vanessa's return, it was all arranged by me. But you didn't force him to cheat, I continued. That was his nature. Even without Vanessa, there would have been someone else. Standing on my toes, I cupped his face. I should be thanking you. Thank you for letting me see his true colors before marriage. So, are we still canceling the wedding? He smiled faintly, lowering his eyes. A warm tear slid into my palm. Chapter 21. That night, Louis stayed. Only 2 days remained before the wedding. He tried to leave, but I stopped him. Clothes fell away piece by piece. His breaths grew heavy, kisses urgent yet restrained. At the final moment, he stopped himself. Wait, we're not married yet. I kissed him instead. Louis, I think you need to prove yourself early. Because one thing was certain, he absolutely could. My thoughts dissolved completely. And as I gasped for mercy, I remembered a comment I'd once seen. Louis might be inexperienced, but he's dangerously gifted. It was true. I lost all sense of time. The comments returned. What is happening? Why are there mosaics everywhere? Louis kissed my eyes gently. Thank you, my wife. I love you. Chapter 22. David's son refused to let things go. But he had no real authority in the family. When he caused trouble without results, he went to my parents. They were pragmatic people. Between the Sun family heir and a spoiled playboy, the choice was obvious. They apologized politely. The marriage was always meant for Louis and Sarah. The earlier arrangement was a mistake. Louis personally took David away and had him locked up. On the night before the wedding, David jumped from the 3rd floor, limping toward me. Sarah, you still love me. Come with me. I shook my head calmly. Sorry, David. I don't want a useless husband. Your brother, I added softly, is very capable. The comments burst out laughing. Viagra has officially become a running joke now.